Okay, just think about it for a second. That sound. You know the one. The high-pitched, scraping screech of nails on a chalkboard. Ugh. It's enough to send a shiver right down your spine, isn't it? It's this sound that's just universally, deeply, physically unpleasant. So today, we're going to dive in and figure out what is actually going on here.
So, yeah, the big question is, why? Why is this particular sound so unbearable? I mean, is it just that our ears are kind of sensitive, or is there something, deeper going on, something maybe a little more primal at play? Well, we're about to unravel the science behind this very specific, and let's be honest, very uncomfortable cringe.
All right, so first up, let's decode the sound itself. Because the key to this whole mystery isn't just that it's a noise. It's about what kind of noise it is.
And there it is. That's the culprit, right there. Scientists have actually managed to isolate the most cringe-inducing part of the sound, and it lives in this very specific frequency range, somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 hertz. Now, hertz is basically just a way to measure a sound's pitch. And it turns out our ears are uniquely and, well, uncomfortably sensitive to this exact range.
And get this sound isn't just sitting in your ears. No, it's a full-body experience. That 2,000 to 4,000 hertz range, it doesn't just hit your eardrum, it goes way deeper. It lights up your auditory nerves, it triggers the emotional centers in your brain, and it puts your entire body on high alert. We're talking a full-on stress response.
Now here's a really crucial point. The problem isn't the volume, it's the pitch. Think about it. You could have a really quiet sound of nails on a chalkboard, like almost a whisper, and it would still be awful, right? And that's because experiments have shown that when scientists take that sound and they just filter out those high-pitched frequencies, it suddenly becomes way more tolerable, even if the volume stays exactly the same. So yeah, it's all about that specific agonizing pitch.
Okay, so we've got the sound figured out. Now let's see how a simple sound wave turns into this full-blown physical reaction. And to do that, well, we're going to have to take a look inside our own heads.
And I'm not just exaggerating here. Your brain genuinely, literally treats this sound like a warning signal. It doesn't interpret it as music, it doesn't hear it as speech, it hears an alarm, a signal that something is seriously wrong, and it immediately shifts into this kind of emergency mode.
So where's the command center for this alarm? It's a little part of your brain called the amygdala. And when scientists look at brain scans, they see that when this sound is played, the amygdala just lights up like a firework. This is the same part of your brain that handles fear, that triggers our fight or flight response. It basically hijacks your emotional controls for a second.
And that brain activity, it translates directly into what you feel physically. You know, the goosebumps popping up on your arms, that involuntary shiver that runs down your spine, maybe even your heart beating a little bit faster. Yeah, that's not in your imagination. That is your nervous system kicking into high gear, all because of a single sound.
And here's the crazy part. It turns out our own anatomy is partly to blame. The actual shape of our ear canal acts like a natural amplifier, and it's specifically designed to boost sounds in that exact 2,000 to 4,000 hertz range. So basically, this super irritating sound gets a VIP pass straight to our brain with the volume already turned way up.
Okay, so we know the exact frequency that gets under our skin, and we know how our brain reacts to it. But the biggest question of all is still hanging out there. Why? Why this reaction? Well, the answer seems to lie deep, deep in our evolutionary past.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. This is the core theory. Scientists have found that the acoustic properties of a chalkboard screech share a shocking resemblance to the warning cries of primates, like monkeys. So that uncomfortable feeling you get, it might be the exact same fear response our ancient ancestors felt when they heard another primate scream, "Danger!"
I mean, just think about it from a survival perspective for a second. For early humans, being hyper-attuned to the specific frequency of a distress call would have been a massive advantage. That shiver, that jolt of alarm, that would have been the very thing that made you look up, spot the predator, and get out of there. Our cringe today is basically an echo of an ancient, hardwired survival instinct.
All right, let's put all the pieces together. Let's connect the dots and give the final verdict on why this sound is so uniquely, so terribly terrible. And there's one more layer to this whole thing, the psychological one. You know that feeling when you just think the sound might happen? That anticipatory cringe? Well, that can actually make the physical reaction even worse. Our brains are so good at recognizing this pattern that even the mere thought of it can be enough to get our amygdala ready to freak out. So, to wrap it all up, here's the whole story in a nutshell. It starts with a very specific sound frequency, between 2000 and 4000 Hz. Our own ears are shaped to naturally amplify it. That amplified sound then hits our brain's fear center, the amygdala, which treats it like a danger signal, all because it sounds remarkably like an ancient primate warning cry. So see, it's not just you being annoyed, it's a deep, biological alarm bell.
So, the next time you hear that sound, or any sound that makes you physically cringe, just remember this. That uncomfortable shiver, that's not weakness. It's not you being overly sensitive. That is tens of thousands of years of evolution, a finely tuned survival instinct kicking in to keep you safe, even if the only predator in the room is a piece of chalk.